Welcome to the podcast, Claim Your Excellent Life, with your host, Suzanne Kellner-Zinck, where she helps professional women learn how to be happy. Suzanne will teach you how to do this through building high self-esteem, relaxation and calm, and good, healthy relationships. Tune in every week as Suzanne shares effective strategies to help you claim your excellent life with happiness techniques, self-esteem building exercises, relationship tips, and relaxation information. Make sure to head over to dawningvisions.com to subscribe to the newsletter to receive your keys to happiness, as well as other useful free gifts for you.
In this episode of Claim Your Excellent Life, I'm going to speak about some of the things that I am doing to keep myself healthy and productive as a person who is closer to 60 than she is 55, which is hard to believe, to tell you the honest truth. So, recently I was going through some of my online courses and realized that there was one that I had begun taking a while ago, which I never really completed. And the whole purpose of this particular class was to live the exceptional life. It was done by Mind Valley's Vishan. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I won't even try. But those of you who know personal development people out there in the world, Vishan and Mind Valley are pretty well known. In any case, he took several areas of life and broke them down and gave really a period of time for us to ask a few questions regarding each aspect of life and what we wanted it to be like going forward. Now, this isn't particularly anything that's terribly new to me, because when you go into pretty much any personal development courses, trainings, whatever, they're going to have you assess your life and figure out what are those areas that you need to get somewhat better control over. Or maybe control, period. Depends on the situation, I suppose. In any case, I realized that I was doing actually a pretty good job these days because I got myself out of a situation that wasn't particularly healthy for me and into a situation that I really, truly did the best I could to future pace myself into having. Being back in an academic environment, learning with other students, with the professors present to ask questions of, unlike what happened at my online course when I did my master's in medical sociology, when the professors had up to 48 hours to get back to you when you sent them an email. Unless, of course, they gave you their phone numbers, which I always used because I don't like waiting when you only have a day or two to write a paper. It makes it a lot more difficult to get the work done. So, I have to say that the number one thing that I really did to improve my life was to change the environment. To move to the Mediterranean, I can see it from my kitchen window, and we can see it from the buildings that we take classes in. It's like right there at the bottom of Mount Carmel, which we are at the very top of at the University of Haifa. It's very beautiful. I got out of the cold, the damp, the hot, the humid. Can't stand any of it, frankly, anymore. That was really important. And I really wanted a place where, even though I can't read the labels here, most of them are in Hebrew, I know their food sources are a hell of a lot healthier than most of what we get back in the States because you can taste the food. It has a different texture and flavor, and everything is different. It's just so much healthier, so much better. So that was the first thing that I did. The second thing that I've been working on is shedding some of the weight that I put on while I was working with my friend who couldn't really do a whole lot because he had really bad bone-on-bone hip arthritis, which made mobilizing very, very painful for him. So we spent a lot of time sitting on our butts, taking rides around the water. He loves doing that. Watching educational videos on art artist, architecture, history, these kinds of things. Or movies. Or eating. These were the things. And we didn't eat the best of food because this person has a sweet tooth extraordinaire. So there's a lot of junk in the house, even though I did my best not to bring it in. He would go out and bring it in. And I'm a sucker for sweets too, so that didn't work so well. Well, there's this wonderful woman on YouTube who does yoga. Her name is Adriene, and it's called Yoga with Adriene. And she just started a 30-day practice starting on January 1st. Apparently, she's done this last few years. We're up to day 16, and I've done it each and every day. And trust me, the body feels it. It doesn't move the way it did when I was younger, even like 10 years ago. The point is, I'm getting my strength back. I'm getting my flexibility back. And the muffin top is starting to go away, which makes me really happy. One of the things I do all the time is future pace myself to seeing myself looking the way I want to look, because what you keep in your mind constantly is what's going to be in your mind. It will come into reality for you. It really does work this way. Got to keep it in front of you all the time. But the action does certainly help in eating less food, right? These things do matter, and apparently getting enough sleep matters too. I got to work on that one. And then we get into the whole thing about relationships, and this is like really important because I've had so many clients who've come to me because they've had such toxic relationships with the people in their lives. We can't have toxic relationships and feel good about ourselves. It just doesn't work, folks. If you have toxic relationships, this would be interactions with people who make you feel angry, frustrated, guilty, shamed. Quite frankly, these are not people you want in your life anyway. And I don't really care if they're parents, I don't care if they're siblings, I don't care who the hell they are. It doesn't matter. You don't choose your family, but you can choose how often and to what degree you interact with them. So depending on the toxicity and what you think you can handle without making you upset, that's what you go for. Nothing more. Because your life is made of what you do with your time. And that can depend on the people that you are hanging with. So choose the people that love you, support you, and want to see you be happy and contented doing those things that are important to you. Other people, you don't need them. Let them go. And that will allow space for other people to come in who are a better match for you. The other areas would be spirituality. I was going to the San Pedro Temple Bethel practically every week when I lived in San Pedro, and I really love that temple so much. And it's because of the cantor. He's celebrating his 25th year being the cantor at that temple, and it's almost like he owns that place because he's been there longer than anybody else, including the rabbis who come through. I think the last rabbi, who was from Boston, interestingly enough, was there for 10 or 12 years, something like that. They have a really sweet female rabbi right now. I haven't met her, but looking at the lives, she's really great. She works with the cantor really well and really likes her position, and it looks like it's a good match. I miss the place, so I got to figure out what I can do here in this method. They do have a temple or synagogue supposedly here, but it's the Chabad people who come over and do the services, so it's way too orthodox for me, frankly. So I'll have to find something else. But in the meantime, I'm always learning about spirituality online on YouTube videos from spiritual teachers who teach about all kinds of spirituality, including the Chabad Ravs and other people who are on there teaching us different ideas of what spirituality has to offer us. And I'd have to say that given the fact that I do spend as much time as I do doing Facebook Lives, usually they're anywhere from an hour to 2 hours plus, giving back to my community, that's a spiritual act in and of itself. I don't get paid for it, I just do it because I love doing it. And apparently there's a certain amount of people who love enough to show up every day, which is really fulfilling as a person who does lives regularly. And I guess the other things are growing in your profession, which is, of course, coming back to school to learn the skills and the theories I need in order to do diplomacy and negotiations in the international realm. That's what I'm aiming to do. I need to finish this Master's in Peace and Conflict Management. Hopefully I'll be able to go on to a doctorate, have the credentials so I can do some really cool consulting and maybe even teach on an academic level in a university. Maybe this university. One can never know. Just take it day by day. And that's the other thing. Being in the now. All the spiritual teachers teach you to be where you're at while you're there. It is too often in this day and age that people are constantly running from one place to another. They don't even know why they're doing most of what they're doing. It's just sort of a habit that they do. We need to slow down. We need to have morning rituals. My morning rituals are I get up, I listen to some YouTube video that's inspirational in some fashion or form. I do my journaling, my gratitudes, my self-hypnosis, and then I do my yoga. And then, and only then, do I actually make my breakfast and then get dressed for my day. Luckily, my classes, when I have them, are at 12:15 in the afternoon and 4:15 in the other afternoon, at least for the next couple of weeks until we go on break, and then I don't know, I'll have to figure out what the other classes are going to be. But for now, this works out perfectly for me because I'm not a morning person in any case, and it gives me plenty of time to do my morning rituals, which helps me to be centered and have a positive attitude during the day. So these are all very important things for us to take under consideration. Figure out what your morning rituals are, because it's different for everybody, seriously. You do want to have some exercise in there. You do want to have some thinking time, creative problem-solving time, if you will, gratitude time. And you want to take time to eat a decent breakfast because that food is going to take care of you for the rest of the day. So no garbage, no crap. Eat real food, one-item foods. They're as good a quality as you can manage. Put them together and make delicious homemade meals. It's definitely worth the time and effort to do so. Well, I guess that's about what I wanted to share with you on this particular episode. So as always, I thank you for spending your time with me till next time. If you have enjoyed Claim Your Excellent Life, we'd really appreciate it if you go over to iTunes and give it a 5-star review. If you have found Claim Your Excellent Life to be helpful to you, and maybe even life-altering with the information that we have shared here, and to allow us to continue this work, which we really do enjoy doing for you, you can sponsor us at patreon.com. That's spelled P as in Paul, ATREON as in Nancy.com. Again, that's P as in Paul, A-T as in Tom, R-E-O-N as in Nancy.com, where there's a few different levels of sponsorship that you can choose from to help us to continue doing this work. We thank you for any assistance that you are able to give us.
Thank you for listening to the podcast, Claim Your Excellent Life, with your host, Suzanne Kellner-Zinck, where she helps professional women learn how to be happy. Suzanne teaches you how to do this through building high self-esteem, relaxation and calm, and good, healthy relationships. Tune in every week as Suzanne shares effective strategies to help you claim your excellent life with happiness techniques, self-esteem building exercises, relationship tips, and relaxation information. Make sure to head over to dawningvisions.com to subscribe to the newsletter to receive your keys to happiness, as well as other useful free gifts for you.